You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it. The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together. Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wooldo, sitting with my buddy, Kev Huggin Duggan.
Hello.
Hello, dear boy. Well, folks, it has been so long. It's weird. We haven't sat down to talk with each other, and we're still just two of us. What the heck? Kyle.
He's you know when you go on vacation, you're like, you know what? I need a couple more days. I'm not feeling fully rejuvenated and relaxed. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I don't believe you.
He'll be back soon. He'll be back before training
better
camp.
Be. God bless.
For realsies.
All right, folks. Well, it's a two-man operation this episode.
I'm not going to lie. A lot of people prefer this.
Oh, dear.
Shots. I take it back. I didn't mean it. Sorry.
Nobody tell Kyle. All right. We've got a big episode lined up for you because it's been so long and so much has happened.
A lot.
In between episodes. We've got a Bolt Insight. Oh, God. It's like, it can't get out of me quick enough.
This episode's going to have a lot of gas.
I've got a Bolt Insight lined up, a Craig Experience lined up, and an Ask Bolt Fam, folks. So get ready. Lock it in. Here we go. Starting off at the top here. Former NFL star quarterback Philip Rivers and wife Tiffany will welcome their 10th child in October.
They hope it's a boy. I say name him Justin.
Oh, can you imagine?
Can you please name him Justin?
Oh, man.
Justin Rivers.
That would be amazing.
I don't know what I would do to make that happen.
I don't know how they made this happen, how they got to 10, to double digits.
I know.
Well, you got to 4 and you're like, done.
I don't know how you do.
Tap me out. I'm out of here.
I guess if you have lots of millions of dollars, it makes things a little easier.
It must.
But 10 is, and I like that he doesn't care what people think.
Oh,
He's
no.
like, you know what?
Philip Rivers doesn't give.
He shoots his shot.
Mm-hmm.
On the field or on the field. You know what I mean? He's shooting his shot. He's getting those touchdowns. So I'm proud of him.
Going
for 2. We got to bring this home.
Let's see. There's a quote here. We've had one pretty much every 2 years, and now this is the longest gap, Rivers said. We are all fired up. Everyone was pulling for a boy. Even our girls wanted a boy. The Rivers currently have 7 girls and 2 boys. Philip's oldest son, Gunnar, will be the starting quarterback for St. Michael this season.
So dad is coaching his oldest son,
which is awesome. That's so cool.
Just consider Justin. Just consider it.
I think that's a valid name option at this point.
There's a lot of Justins out there, so it's not like a weird name where you're like, oh,
yeah. Now I'm curious. Now that I've read this, it made me think. Now your dad coached you, but not at a high school level.
No, Pop Warner.
What do you think that would have been like if you had your dad as the coach in high school?
I don't know.
Do you think there would have been favoritism?
Oh, there always is favoritism.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you think you would have been more popular or less popular, or do you think you would have gotten like...
I probably would have, got all the girls in high school because I'd have been the coolest player.
All right.
Probably not. I doubt it. But I think Gunnar is definitely like been bred to do this for his whole life. So
clearly.
My feeling is that he's probably going to be harder on his son than other people. That's what my dad was. My dad was always harder on Kyle and I. And you just you want your kid to be the best. So you're going to push them a little harder than you will someone else's kid, because no one can yell at you for being harsh on your kid.
That's right. All right. Well, there was, for those that don't know, Justin Herbert really doesn't have a presence on social media. In fact, that was almost like a thing that they made when we first got him, which was like, okay, well, what social media does he have? And it was like nothing.
Zip.
But more recently, he has joined Instagram, and every now and then you'll see a post from Justin Herbert on Instagram. And there was one fairly recently. Justin Herbert put on his Instagram photo of him.
A really cool photo.
It's a great photo. It's he's kind of very small down the middle, and the rest is just like blurry crowd. He's got his hands up in the number one style, and the caption says, "Thinking about fall."
Me too, Justin.
Yes,
Me too.
we are all thinking about fall, my friend. Can't wait. I think
it's so close, man. We're like I think it was like 17 days away from that first preseason game. Not ours, but like when the preseason games start at the
Hall of Fame one, yeah.
Yeah, so like, dude, it's so close.
Yeah, we're less than a month away from preseason happening, and
we're a week away from training camp. But
Yeah.
this is like
it's coming.
We were talking about this the other day. We talk about Chargers all year long.
All year long.
And a lot of the times we're just having fun talking about the Chargers.
Right.
Now things mean something.
Now we're
and
gonna
it's
get some
coming
meat
back, baby.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Meat on the bone. All right. And then there was a tweet recently. Jay Big Bear, that's Joey Bosa, for those that don't know, on Twitter, said, "Thanks for everyone who has my back. I know I've made some mistakes and I take full responsibility for that, but trust me, I love my team and I'm working my ass off every day for all of you willing to support me, especially my teammates. Football is my life. Bolt the up."
Oh.
Chargers responded with a hand heart emoji. And Bosa said, "Oh, and for the haters, I love you too."
I saw this. He never really posts anything like this ever.
No.
So I think he definitely seems like he did a little soul searching this offseason and considered how things ended and, not even getting close to what he wanted to be, even on the field. So right. I feels like going to be a good year for him.
Well, I mean, we got to remember that a lot of these guys that are playing right now are in their early 20s. They're 20-year-olds a lot of these guys have just been handed like, here's a big bag of money. Now go be professional athletes. And for some people, it doesn't go very well as far as like a mentality thing. And Joey Bosa has been one that's talked about like how important it is to have mental stability.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stigmatisms that go around with being fully aware of your being in the moment kind of situations. And this is great to see from Joey Bosa, someone that advocates that kind of thinking, to say, you know what, I looked at myself, I looked at what I need to do. And thank you to those who have supported me, and that's what we do here at the Charger Chat. We support. We are shamelessly positive.
We're not always happy about it, but we will be shamelessly positive.
We're not mad.
Support.
We're just disappointed. Kyle. But great to see Joey basically taking ownership.
Yeah.
Hey, made mistakes, gonna get better.
Hell yeah.
And then PFF tweeted out the top 10 offensive coordinators in the NFL per PFF Sam. This is Sam Monson who put out the top 10 offensive coordinators. I don't know what goes into the to the making of this list.
Yeah.
There's numbers being crunched. PFF crunches a lot of numbers.
There's got to be some ones and zeros in this for sure.
Right. And out of the top 10 list, number 1 is Ben Johnson from the Detroit Lions.
Wild.
Respectable.
Wild.
But number 2 is our newly hired Kellen Moore for the Chargers. So
so excited.
So freaking excited. So another reason, I mean, that's been the big news this offseason. We haven't acquired necessarily many new players. It's been the offensive coordinator. That's been the big one. So to see that we're getting, per Sam Monson, number 2 out of all the offensive coordinators in the entire league is now the Chargers. Another reason to be excited for next season.
Sam I trust.
And Sam I trust. All right. Well, we've got a tease of some kind that involves our favorite ladies.
The broads.
The brisket broads.
The brisket broads.
I'm not fully familiar with this, Kevin. Explain.
Okay. So the patches. If you go on to our Patreon and you join us at the 10, you get patches. That's the only way you can get a patch.
The only way.
We're not selling them. They're just a part of the Patreon.
You gotta join. You gotta be part of the club.
However, I was given 5 by Papa Wolldog.
Give me 5.
I allocated 3 of those to the brisket broads, who will be at training camp the 26th, 27th, and 29th.
Really?
If you find the brisket broads and you say, hey, I want a patch, Then they're going to ask you a brisket abroad question. Broad Bolt trivia.
Broad Bolt trivia.
And if you answer that question right, you're going to get a patch. There's only 3 of them.
Wow.
So find them quick. They're going to be there every day. They are going to be there every day of training camp.
Right.
Every single day.
Jeez.
I'm like, I thought I was committed, but I'm not. No. They're such better fan than I am. But we're going to have them on after that first week of training camp. They're going to fill us in on all the awesome stuff. But just wanted to give you enough time to be prepared that if you're going to go, you could get one of 3 patches.
Wow.
That's the only way you're going to get it unless you're a Patreon member.
Right. Wow. That's pretty special. And as we've seen on Broad Bolt Trivia, they can ask some pretty tough questions.
They might ask you who your defensive coordinator is.
Name.
Hello.
Or it could be the
friend.
YouTube handle for Joey Bosa's YouTube channel.
I'd start sharpening up on the random trivia.
Yeah, there could be some wild questions coming at you. So don't just think you can waltz up and say, I want a patch, and they're just going to give it to you. You got to earn it.
Earn that shit.
You got to earn that patch. So good luck to all of you going to training camp. It's coming up so freaking quick. I can't wait. But speaking of Patreon, folks, we've got to shout out some new Patreon members that we've gotten over this past couple of weeks. We've got Christopher Wade and Mickey Coates.
Welcome to the party, pals.
Let's go. Patreon.com/ChargerChat, folks. Go check it out. We're putting up videos every week. Sometimes 2 if we're feeling froggy. But if you join, we've got multiple levels that you can join at. And if you join at the $10 level, like Kevin said, you can get one of those sweet-ass patches we've got, and you can be part of the Zoom Hangouts, and we've got all these different things going on. So definitely go check out Patreon.com/ChargerChat. And if you don't want to go over there, that's totally fine.
Fine.
You can go to our regular website, ChargerChat.com. Check out all the cool stuff we've got over there, T-shirts, hoodies, and stickers. You can chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers in the member section, and you can ask questions and ask Boltfam, so go check out ChargerChat.com. All right, gang, it's time to go on to the next segment. This is Bolt Insight, and I think it's time to get a little insightful.
Let's get insightful.
As soon as that clock starts, your ass is mine.
When I met Justin Herbert, man, that dude is big as hell.
You know, the goal is to just keep it rolling.
Come in hype because we have a lot of things to be excited about.
All right, guys, we are back with another Bolt Insight, and we are super lucky to have Joe and Miguel from Die Hard Bolt Club Seattle. What is going on, boys?
Hey, what's going on?
Man, I'm super excited to have you guys. The news came out that you guys are starting a chapter up there, and I was like, we got to get them on. We got to figure out what was going on, getting the new chapter going. So let's kick it off with you, Joe, our president over there. How did it all get started?
I hit up the Die Hard Bolt Club Twitter page asking if they were ever going to start a chapter up here. I just put the filler out. They hit me up saying that they were going to have something in the future, and it was probably about like a year now. And then I recently just hit up Enrique asking if it was going to start up here, and got to talking to him and got to know him a little bit more and the club. And he gave us the blessing and said, hey, take the ball and run with it up there. And so I hit my boy Miguel up and my boy Atticus up and said, hey, let's start something up here. Let's get some diehard Charger fans out here and, start getting together and start representing.
I love it, man. That's awesome. And then Miguel, what's the Charger community like up right now? I know you guys are going to get it rolling and get more people involved. What's the community like up there right now for Charger fans?
It's scattered. It's all over the place. I want to say we're trying to get everyone combined, all together so we can actually make an actual, just a solid community so we can gather up and, have watch events or basically watch the game together instead of having them from one part of the city to another part. And yeah, it's pretty solid out here, I want to say, because when they came up here for preseason, they were all over the place. And yeah, obviously when I said, I said what's up to all the Charger fans when they saw me, because I was just decked out. I'm always decked out every day, every day of the year.
Nice.
And I'm just like, hey, what's up? And where are you from? And they come from Spokane, all the way from Yakima. Down from Oregon. I'm just like, man, we all got to, get together and make this thing happen up here in the Northwest. So
that's awesome, man. And yeah, you're up in the Oregon neck of the woods of Mr. 10. So you could probably get a little more fan in that energy up there now that he's our QB. And, it's so cool. Like there's nothing quite like watching Charger games with other Charger fans. And I don't think a lot of people always get to do that. But man, the energy when you like get to like high five, chest bump, like that whole thing is my favorite thing about being a Charger fan, is being around other fans. What do you guys have planned? Because the season's coming quick, man. It's going to be here before we know it. What are you guys planning to do with your chapter in terms of watch parties and stuff?
Right now, it's a slow process. We're basically just, following the upper hands of them telling us how it work, and really just trying to be patient with members. We want it to be an exclusive club like it is, right? So we want people to be diehard fans. We want them to come out and represent the club and represent the Chargers. So we just want to really bring people into the club that are like diehard Charger fans that want to ride with us through everything. Can make it through the last playoff game that we had.
Yeah.
You can, what I'm saying? And there's been, if you're a Charger fan, there's been plenty of those back in the day. So we just want to really just build a community of Charger fans and build like a family, like how it is down there, but build it up here, and that's what we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to just finding people that really want to represent the club well and do a really good job with it and just spread it all across Washington.
I love it. And then what's the best way for people if they're interested and they're listening to this and they want to come join a part, be a part of your chapter? What's the best way for them to do that?
So basically we have on our Twitter profile, we have our member application. Fill it out. It'll get sent to me and Miguel. And then basically we'll go through it. And we really want to just meet you in person. Build that relationship first. We don't want to just say, hey, you're a part of the club. We actually want to become like friends first, and then
absolutely
brothers or sisters, and just become a big family. You know what I'm saying? We want to get to know you, not just in the club, but outside of the club. We want to be able to have that relationship with you.
That's awesome, man. That's so important. I think that builds the foundation for like everyone to diehards to stay together and be at all the watch parties. So that's amazing. And then, what is something you're looking to do up there, Miguel? Like now that you're the VP and you're going to help Joe and you guys are all going to do your stuff. What are your ultimate goals for the club and what you want to see happen?
I want us to just basically like Joe was saying, we got to have this, this connection to where we build, I like the whole family first and all that stuff. But I love, because up here in Seattle, we have a bunch of Seahawk fans.
Sure.
Now, those guys are above and beyond. And I hated seeing that. So I'm like, I want something better than that.
Yeah.
Something that you can actually, like bond with other Charger fans around this area. But man, I'm excited to see what's actually going to happen, because Joe's really a good guy. I love that guy, man. He's pretty awesome. Energy's full. Thanks. And he got me on. I'm like, wow, I'm so pumped up on VP, man. Whatever you say, let's go. Let's do this. And so, yeah, it's just building a foundation of just family and friends and just making, I actually like the idea of, bringing everyone together, the Charger community together. So that's my goal, man. Just doing that.
You're getting me fired up, man. I can't. This season can't come fast enough. I'm ready for this, man. Well, let's get. I want to get both you guys' opinion, because we are literally like a week away from training camp. Let's talk a little Charger football. Both of you guys get a question. Let's start with you, Miguel. What are you most excited for in this camp? What do you want to see coming out of training camp?
Oh man, this is tough. I want to see our number one pick, Q. I want to see him. I want to see him live, man. But the quarterbacks, man. I want to see the quarterback room, because now that our backup quarterback from last year's gone, which I really wanted Easton Stick to be, our backup quarterback last year. But we'll see. We have that dude from Texas A&M.
Yeah, Mr. Duggan, if you will. Sorry, I'm namesake. I respect the Duggan. I respect the Duggan.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really excited about that. But yeah, that's pretty much for me, man.
Right on. I love it. No, so he's going to be exciting, and what this wide receiving core can look like is going to be nuts. So I want to see what that looks like on the field. And then what about you, Joe? Let's wrap it up. What are you most excited for this training camp?
To see the linebackers, because we have good linebackers right now. The depth is so crazy right now, and I think they're really going to push each other. I think K9 is probably good. Everybody say he's going to have a breakout. I think this is the year he has a phenomenal year, but all the linebackers just gel together. And I think they become one strong unit for us that holds it together in big games. I think they're going to push each other, because I was looking at the linebackers this year and I'm like, dude, we got depth there. And I'm also willing, I want to see the interior line, see how they do on the deep side. So I'm excited for that as well.
Yeah, I'm on board. The linebackers are cool. We got Kendricks, we got him. We got Dayon's coming in, the rook. So it's going to be exciting to see how that all shakes out. And I just want to thank you guys so much for coming on and sharing with us about your new chapter. It means a lot. We're Die Hard Bowl Club members. We love being a part of Die Hard Bowl Club. And good luck to you guys up there getting that chapter going. And if you need anything from us, just let us know, man.
Definitely,
Thank you.
Guys, come up this way. We got you.
Oh, we're going to find it. I want to get up there. I got to get up there at some point. So we will hit you up for sure. So
definitely.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. And we will talk to you. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks for having us.
Later, boys.
All right, later.
Well, there you go, folks. Another awesome Bolt insight. Thank you.
I love seeing new Die Hard Bolt Club chapters.
Yes.
I love meeting fellow Die Hard Bolt Club members. So if you're up in the Northwest, go hit them up.
Absolutely. And I saw that the Die Hard Bolt Club just
new
website they've got up
that
there.
happened on our little break, and go check that out, because that's where you can find all the chapters. You can learn all the stuff you need to learn.
It's so easy, folks, to find a chapter, or if you're in an area that doesn't have one, get one started. It's easy. It really doesn't cost anything to get it going, and you're going to ensure that you're hanging out with other Charger fans. So again, thank you so much for coming on and chatting with Kev. Really appreciate that. But now it's time to go on to the next segment, folks. You know him? Yeah, you love him.
Yeah, we
don't play like you don't love him.
We love him.
You love him.
I love him.
I'm talking about the Craig Experience.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Come on in, man. Kick your feet up.
Craig Experience. Hello there.
Make yourself at home. Got some stuff to talk about, right? Moving on.
Pardon. I do a fairly decent job at staying well hydrated, but as I'm sure many of you all out there know, that we here on planet Earth recently have reset some new highs when it comes to temperatures. I think since they started recording climate data back in around 1880, we've now broken the record in just the last week and a half, like at least 3 times. So yeah, and for those of you out there watching this on YouTube, I know what you're thinking. Hey Craig, you really can't be over there complaining about heat when I'm looking at you sporting a black hoodie. Well, you're right about one thing. Well, 2. It's black, it's a hoodie, but hear that rustling? Super lightweight, very breathable. Sounds like I'm doing an ad. I'm really not. Just want to make the point here that this is not hot at all. And also, I keep it a nice, crisp 65 to 68 degrees in my crib. So regardless as to the hell that's going on outside, your boy is, for lack of a better term, no pun intended, very chill in his house. So on to more important things. CC gang, where are my manners? The biggest of salutes. And to the rest of the Bolt fam, what is good, E? She got Craig in Texas, and hot as hell, Texas. And I'm back with another edition of the TCE. That's right, the Craig Experience. Need some chapstick. Yikes. I wasn't joking. Lips were really, really dry. As we inch ever so closely to training camp, I think the rookies actually report next week. So we're just a few weeks out from full-fledged summertime action. I got to thinking, heading into this season, just kind of dwelling on better times as a Chargers fan, kind of still getting that bad taste of the wild card game out of our mouths. Pause. Start thinking about 2018. What a year, right? 12-4. Got a playoff victory in there. Got swept up by the Pats, but not really dwelling on that. Talking about the season as a whole overall and some of the things that I feel like I'd love to see from the team this year that may help contribute to a better record, being more competitive in the AFC West, and potentially getting at least one win off of the Chiefs. There were a few statistics that caught my attention. When you consider all the things that people complained about from that year, I think sometimes you can get a little spoiled and you can overlook the positives. And sometimes there's this whole revisionist history thing. And you get so bogged down in what's going on now that you kind of forget what took place in certain seasons, or in particular that one that led to such a great record. And a wild ride, man. That team was special for a few reasons. So let's just look at a couple of numbers here. The Chargers were 6th in points per game that season, 8th in opponents' points per game. So top 10 there, both. Points scored, points given up. And they were 15th in rushing, so right around the middle of the pack, and also 11th in passing. And then you go back and you look at the staff. You can get to some of the players. A lot of the pieces are the same. Some, in particular in certain places that matter, are very different. So, of course, your head coach, Anthony Lynn, which most people, I don't know, man. A lot of people don't like Anthony Lynn. It had a lot to do with some of those sound bites from some of those press conferences, some comments that he made about Justin Herbert being a backup for a reason. Some questionable clock management stuff, and just, he's an old school dude. I mean, you're either down with it or you're not, but, 12-4 season, he was a head coach. Got to give him credit for it. And also, Ken Wisenhunt was your offensive coordinator, and, I was okay with Wiz. He had a tendency to kind of get stuck in his ways a little bit. Not like that other guy whose name I told you I'd never mention on this podcast or really any other platform ever again. He's now OC out in Denver, or at least that's the title that they gave him because Sean Payton is going to run that offense. And on the defensive side, y'all remember Mr. Cover 3 himself? Gus Bradley. So, as much as you may not like what the end results were, especially now looking back, and you kind of have maybe a very distant memory of it and just not super fond of a lot of the outcomes, they put up some not bad, and in some instances, pretty good overall statistics. Couple of things that caught my attention from that team outside of just the overall numbers. Just looking at some of the personnel, how they were utilized, and I think some of that is going to be deployed this year. Some of those strategies, and it's not anything that's rocket science, actually. A lot of teams do it right now. Some just have more success and they execute a little bit better than Chargers have as of late. 2 running back system. That was Melvin Gordon's best season with the Chargers. He had like 885 yards rushing. He actually rushed at 5 yards a clip. That was his average. He had 5 yards a carry. It was the only season that dude had over 4 yards per carry. The only one. I'm not joking. His high in yards per carry before the 5-yard season was 3.9. He never even averaged 4. And then alongside of him, you had Austin Eckler, who was breaking out, and they both actually averaged over 5 yards a carry, and they did their thing in the receiving game too. So the Chargers had some pretty decent balance in the backfield. Phil was like somewhere, and I'm spitballing here, I don't have it in front of me to read off of. I believe he had like 35 TDs, somewhere between like 32 and 35 TDs and like 12 interceptions, something like that. So pretty good season for Phil. Didn't pass for over 5K or anything. He was in the 4 range, lower 4, somewhere around there. But our captain, Mr. Rivers, did his thing as well. Tyrell Williams was a part of that wide receiving core that was also inclusive of Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. And then you kind of look at this year's roster, and there are some similarities. Your top 3 wide receivers, well, I'm saying top 3 now because you heard what QJ said in that interview? Apparently, he's under the impression that he's already won a starting role in the wide receiving core as the wide receiver 3. Joshua Palmer has not been out there or wasn't out there in mini camps, so I don't know. Maybe the coaches did give him give him a reason to believe that he was going to be the third option in the wide receiving room. But I believe Josh is probably going to have something to say about that. But nonetheless, that's going to be a very good top 4 wide receivers to have to be able to utilize. But really what I'm getting at here is the size of the top 3 wide receivers. When you look at Tyrell Williams, who was 6'4" dude that could run, you got somebody similar in regard to height and athletic abilities. Probably a better athlete than Tyrell was. Maybe sort of kind of. Tyrell almost definitely had better long speeds. He was a little bit faster than QJ, but QJ is probably a bit more quick twitch than Tyrell was. And so you kind of get to deploy those guys in similar fashions. Still not certain what Mike Williams' role is going to be in the passing game now, whether or not he's still going to be more of an intermediate, short, like slant, quick out dude where they allow him to try to make something after the catch, which is what QJ specializes in, or if they're going to make him more of a deep threat like he used to be back in those days. You have the options to do both, so I'm not limiting either of them. Keenan is who Keenan is. Slay is going to slay and do what he does offensively and kind of maneuver all over the field and be your chain mover. But as I was saying, similar in the wide receiving core where size is concerned. Bigger wide receivers, one who was more explosive than the other 2 lead guys, and that was Tyrell. Another huge component that I want to speak about is someone that a lot of you guys may have forgotten about. And, he was the king around these parts for a little while, kind of, sort of. Yeah, I'm making a play off of his last name, but Desmond King. Now, not just for his exploits on the defensive side of the ball, where he had, some really nice pass breakups. Forget how many picks Des had that season. Maybe he had 3. So I think Derwin had 3 that season also, and I think he and Des were tied for the most on the team. But you want to know where he was really special? As a punt returner. He had a punt return for a touchdown that year. And it made me think about Mr. Darius Davis. He could have the same effect. And y'all know that that's kind of been my favorite draft pick. Initially, it really wasn't, but the more I dove into it and looked at what he could mean for the offense, where field position and easy points are concerned, he started to grow on me a bunch, and he became, if not my favorite draft pick, one of the top 2-3 draft picks for what he can contribute to the team and help our King J Herbo out with. And so he doesn't really have to shoulder the load of, having to craft these long, drawn-out drives, marching down the field for points, which may or may not result in points or may only result in a field goal, things like that. All of this stuff matters. Field position matters. It's a game of inches. You heard it time and time again. If you can get somebody to contribute on special teams in that way, huge help. And Desmond King did that. And I'm looking for Darius Davis to be that dude also. Now, it's going to have to come on punt returns, mainly because you guys are familiar with the new kickoff rule, which is stupid as all hell. Whereas they're already utilizing this in college. You fair catch inside of the 25 and you get the ball at the 25, inside the 20 to the 25. Whatever it is, it's dumb. I hate it. And it almost negates half of the reason why you drafted the kid in the first place. Darius Davis will contribute on offense in some capacity, probably not a ton, but where he was going to make his hay was going to be in the kick and the kickoff return and punt return games. So unless the Chargers just say to hell with it and go all in on special teams, and Ficken just says, "Hey kid, let it fly." That phrase is stuck in my head because I watched the Bear actually binge the series both seasons, and now the phrase "let it fly" is stuck in my head. Even if is that the phrase? Was that the thing? Was that what the brother said? Was it "let it fly"? Homeboy that played the Punisher. Man, look, let me stop giving away stuff for people out there that didn't watch the show because I might have said too much just now. But anyway, back to business. So those are just a few of the things that, off the top of my head, from 2018, I hope the Chargers are either looking to somewhat mimic or take advantage of, or really just some of the things that they were able to utilize on that run to that 12-4 record into the playoffs that I think would translate very well over to this season's team, whether it be from the personnel standpoint, which is mostly what it is. And, I mean, what that tells you, sitting here rambling and thinking about personnel, and Adrian Phillips just crossed my mind again. I remember the game across the pond, last play against Tennessee. No, let's not do that. Adrian's long gone. It's over now. It's time that's passed us, and I got to get over it. Much like I had to Joe Reed, which never materialized, and I'm still a little bitter about it. See what I'm doing right now? This is what happens when there's no actual football to watch. You get in your head, you start thinking about random things, and they just all come out in word salad. Nothing makes any sense. But that's it. It's enough for me. I'm not sure what you guys are going to take away from that. It's just me rambling. But per usual, I appreciate you for joining me. And, till the next time, you know where you can catch me, here with my boys, CC Gang, Mr. Bolt Gang of Do Not Bang, a.k.a. TOP_FLYT3 on Twitter, and Threads, too, I guess. I honestly don't know how much I'm going to use Threads. I mean, it seems cool. I looked at it a time or two, but I got my reasons. But do you, however you get down. But you can definitely catch me on Twitter, and also check me out on the Lightning Round podcast as well. So to all of y'all out there, my Bolt fam, my boys, CC Gang, I appreciate y'all. Till the next time, catch y'all later. And K, love you, bye.
All right, reporter Craig with the Daily Bugle coming in, getting the hard facts, putting them down on paper. Well done, Craig. Way to make some comparisons to another successful season that we had.
It's so weird that year that we were 12-4. It doesn't feel like that team was a 12-4 team, and I don't know why. I still remember like going to that playoff game being like, oh shit, this is gonna be rough. But there's some good comparisons. They're a well-balanced team, and clearly that's, if we can become a well-balanced team and have the top-ranked defense, top-ranked offense, at least in the top 10, you're looking at some serious upgrades of what we've done the last couple.
Yeah, I like the idea, the comparison with the running back situation as far as having a 2 running back system. If Kelly or Spiller can step up and be that number 2 that can switch in and out from time to time, I think it's going to be great. That does nothing but give everybody else a chance to breathe, to catch their breath, and then get back out there with a fresh set of legs. So really excited for that. And I feel you, Craig, this offseason, we've been making a lot of word salads over here ourselves. We've been getting them all put together. Sometimes it feels like we're pulling taffy, but hey, we're having fun.
No cucumbers.
When we're doing it. Yeah, no cucumbers for Kevin. I just learned that. Kevin,
not a cucumber guy.
Ish no think so on the cucumber. So, Craig, thank you so much for coming on, bud. Always great to hear from you. And
thanks, man.
Looking forward to the next one. That'll be pretty close to training camp. We might have some more in-depth reporting from Mr. Top Flight Craig. All right, gang. Well, now it's time to go on to the next segment. It's Ask Bolt Fam. Still the off season. Let's see what kind of questions we got going on here.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys. Don't jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do. I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are totally appreciated. Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy.
That's right, folks. Time for Ask Bolt Fam, and we start off with FN Dooley, who asked the question. Eck is a seasoned vet. Kellen is the new play caller. Is it business as usual for Eck this year, or do you intentionally start working the offensive game plan around de-emphasizing Eck? Look, I am for doing whatever it takes to win, but I don't believe Eck has the value he thinks he does, and I think this will be the year to show it. Next year, there are a ton of free agents in the running back ranks. They think they are being devalued now. Wait till then.
Ooh.
Whew. Yeah. So there was a recent.
He's been on a few publications, if you will, saying more stuff that I would hope, I get what he's saying. I know you need to talk about it, but it's a part of me that just like, the only thing you're going to be associated with this year is these comments you're making right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to be successful. And the problem is like, if you're not at where you were, last year, you're setting yourself up in a bad way
for heartbreak. Yeah.
I want the best for him. I want him to kick ass this year, but I'm stressed with what he's doing right now a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah. I get what he's saying, and I support him wanting to get the most value for him 100%. I mean, that's the whole reason why I wasn't upset with him wanting to go out and try to get more money from other teams, because it's him. He's not the Chargers. He is Austin Eckler. So he went out, tried to get some more money. Didn't happen. Still with the Chargers. And now the Chargers give him that extra little incentive contract where like, okay, we'll give you more money, but you got to do this, 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 and this. And we thought, perfect. Here's an opportunity for Eck. He could get more money. He's still one of the top paid running backs in the league. Everybody's happy.
Still not happy.
Still has something to say.
He's not upset with it. What it's coming across now is he's not upset with the team. He's upset with the situation.
The market.
And the situation is clear, and it's bad for a lot of people. It's bad for guys. Like Josh Jacobs didn't sign his franchise tender.
Right.
So he's not even going to show up to training camp for all purposes. That's great for us because I hate the Raiders.
Right.
So good for him.
Good job.
Hold out. Keep rocking that thing.
Keep doing you, Josh.
But it's a weird year. And I don't, this is the only narrative that's happening right now.
Right.
Granted, this is all going to get kind of brushed under the rug once football starts, but it's just bums me out a little bit.
Well, I think also it has to do with people are not done asking him those kind of questions. Eck could be like, basically like, I'm good. I'm happy with it.
But that's why he's getting brought on these shows.
Exactly.
They want to talk about this because he's outspoken.
Exactly.
So, there's not other running backs going on and doing that. And he's very much been more of a social media going on, talking about stuff. He's like getting that side of his, company going, which is totally great.
Yeah.
Love it. It's just, I don't know.
No, I get it. It doesn't help with the team camaraderie and everything like that because it is so public. This isn't like, I had a conversation with somebody about it. It's, hey, guess what? We all heard it because it was on a show. It was on the Rich Eisen show, too, of all shows, which is one of the more popular, if not the most popular show about sports. So, so all that aside, that basically sets up this question as far as the idea about possibly de-emphasizing Eck.
I don't think you do that, man. He's still an incredible Swiss Army knife. There's no one really like him, in the league. There's like, the McCaffrey is the closest thing you can say to what Eck is he's as much of a threat out of the backfield as he is running the ball. We want him to be successful as shit.
Right.
That doesn't mean we're not going to be good the next year if he's not there. I think you just spread the time a little bit, just a little more. Like he even says he wants guys to step up so he can share time with somebody.
Right.
Let him do that. Let him do that. Get fresh legs. Let's go. I think that's how you treat it. But like I said in previous ones, and Kyle gave me a hard time, it's like, this is set up to not be great. Like he's already kind of not happy right now. And if we get it the way we want it, he's not going to be getting the same amount of touches and carries that he did.
Sure.
For us, that's a good thing.
Right.
Because there's somebody that's, succeeding and accomplishing that backup position or that 1A, 1B or, 1-2. So we'll see what happens. But it's definitely going to be an interesting narrative that isn't going to die anytime soon.
Right. I don't think the goal is necessarily going to be about intentionally de-emphasizing Eckler. That's not the goal. The goal is to win games. The goal is to go out there and look at, okay, I've got Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler. We just signed Quentin Johnston. And you've got Jalen Guyton, who can get down the field. You got Darius Davis, who's one of the fastest guys like in the world as far as the NFL is concerned.
NCAA or
so
NFL.
you got to look at like, okay, this is what I got. Let me build an offensive play call around that. Now, if that happens to de-emphasize Eck, that's just what it is. But that's not the game plan. That's not the goal. And it shouldn't be thought of as that. The goal is we got to win games. So if that's what happens, that's what happens. But and if it happens in the way that Craig talked about, as far as like, hey, we got to get more running backs kind of, in there. If we can get a 2-man system going, that will de-emphasize that, but that's not the goal. The goal is to win games and try to be as productive as possible. And we know that Kellen Moore likes to throw it down the field too, so that's going to have a ding on it as well, potentially. It all just has to be successful.
Well, and the thing with Eck too is that he needs to have an amazing season. He needs it because
if he wants those incentives.
He wants it. No, not only that, but he wants a new contract.
And
the
that too.
incentives
You're right.
are nothing to him right now.
Right.
He's looking at next year when he's going to sign with somebody big.
Right.
So if he does what he needs to do, he's going to be one of the best running backs in the league, and that's only good for us.
All right. All right. I don't know if we answered the question.
We answered the shit out of something.
Okay. But thank you for asking it. Let's move it on now to Swipe Visuals.
Ooh, change your name.
Who asked the question?
Hey, all. It's Swiper Graphics. I just changed my name to do more stuff. Anyways, I'm about to lose it if Eckler talks about how he's underpaid when he's the 5th highest paid Charger pre-Herbert extension. I get he wants to get paid, but this isn't the way, at least in my opinion. Surely he understands that we will be in even more cap hell if he was extended this year, right? I'm hoping this isn't a Melvin Gordon situation, even though it's turning into one low-key. Anywho, fuck the Raiders, bolt the fuck up, and say love you bye. P.S. I know it's me being a negative Nancy Debbie Downer, but I'm just frustrated, LOL, and I want it over with.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it's a great point. Swipe Visuals. It's like, obviously, if there was no cap limit, we'd sign all the big guys that we possibly could, regardless of how much they cost.
I think he's more like right now, like I said, he's happy with what the Chargers did. They gave him incentives. They met him somewhere in the middle. He's just right now, it's kind of like the union stuff for the WGA right now. He's like, us running backs need to stick together.
Right.
That's the kind of energy I'm getting. And he's kind of becoming the spokesperson for other running backs.
Totally.
So it's still annoying because I want to hear him talk about other stuff that's
fun
team
stuff.
At some
team
point,
stuff.
he needs to shift into team.
Correct.
And be less this and be more team. So, we're not there yet. We still got 8 days until training camp starts or whatever it is. So 8 more days. Do what you got to do, Eck. When you get to camp, hit that gear and let's become
Shift
full
gears,
team.
Please. Please and thank you. All right. Swipe Visuals. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Sensitive Stock 2766.
Terrified breath.
Who asked the question? What changes have you noticed in the training staff procedures thus far, or is it too early to tell?
I think it's, as far as us, we don't have any real insight into what the training staff and all those guys are doing. Clearly, we have a new team, so we'll find out pretty quick with what they've implemented. But we're never going to know like how the ins and outs of that works or what's different from the last one.
Right.
I just hope it's better. I just wanted to more clear communication with the coach. We know when guys are hurt. Let's not wait till the last week of training camp to fix an ankle. Let's be smart. There's got to be. I was thinking there's got to be some kind of like scan that can like scan like all your like nerves and like test every ligament. Like let's just see where everyone's at. And then you just take it easy on that right knee today, okay? You get that weird, creepy scan.
So
we're in the future, man.
So diagnostics, basically.
Yeah. We need to run a full diagnostics computer style on these players.
We can't really speak to what the training staff has been doing, but I do remember, was it Staley that said that they were going to be doing more gassers when they were doing the OTAs?
Yeah,
so
just cardio.
So we know at least that much, that cardio is definitely a focus point as far as trying to get better and not get tired.
Well, when you get tired, you get hurt, man. When you're not all together and something starts to give out, then you hurt something else. So let's stay in shape. Get in shape.
Yeah.
Not me. I don't plan on getting fully in shape.
Me
the
neither.
team. The team.
All right. Well, there you go. Sensitive Stock 2766. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for asking the question. All right. Let's move it on to the next one. Bet Bolt, who asked the question. Okay, my friends. Time for a difficult question in these dog days of summer. Let me start by saying I love Derwin. However, could a case be made that the boys play better from defense when he's not out there? Take the Miami game, for example. Great team win by controlling the hottest offense in the league. Derwin didn't play. My thought is everyone focuses on their role more knowing he's not flying around to be the rescue safety. He is the most talented safety in the league.
He can do it all. Do you think we would be better and more consistent if he played more within the scheme? Please discuss. Big year coming. As always, FTR, FTC, and FTB. K, love you, boy. That went off the rails so bad. I'm so sorry. God, I got to lock in Sean.
Hey, you did your I do love The Last Crusade, though. We just watched that.
We did.
We've been on the Indiana
So it's
Jones
fresh
thing.
in my head. It's not like I don't know what he sounds like, but just can't call him up.
So I can see the correlation between that one game and Derwin not being on the field. But Derwin James is Derwin James, man. Like, I don't know why. Maybe there's some breakdowns. I don't think it has anything to do with the players being like, oh, he's out there.
Oh, Derwin's here.
I'm good.
I can go 50% and be fine.
Yeah. I think we're going to be a better team if we can get him in the mix more in the box and rushing, like getting up and rushing the passer as well.
Right.
Like, and not having to be 15 yards all the way back, just kind of waiting, hawking. You know what I mean? So I don't think that that's the case. I think they just need to maximize the secondary and how they're going to play.
Right.
Because they were, even in the beginning of the season, they were still kind of not sure what was going to go on with JC and Davis, not really fully getting it the previous year and then stepping up and then getting better this year, like considerably better this last year.
Right.
So I think there's a little bit more to that, but I think we're a considerably better team when Derwin's on the field.
100%. Yeah, Derwin has to be out there. This isn't a thing of like, well, Derwin shouldn't play because we played well when he wasn't out there. Like, that doesn't necessarily correlate. I think it is more about like these guys got to execute. That whatever the game plan is, you got to stick with it. You got to execute it, and you got to make sure that it happens. So I don't know what to attribute that to the previous games when it seemed like defense was struggling. I know injuries were a thing, but I can't speak to what exactly it was. But Derwin has to be out there. I mean, he is the top safety in the league as far as I'm concerned, and makes everybody better by being out there. So, yeah, I get the idea, but he's got to be there.
Yeah,
he's got to. They all have to play within the scheme, and Derwin is what do they call him? The star? Is he the star player, the nickel, or what is
the money?
Money. That's the one. So he's the money player. So he's got to be out there, and when he is. We've seen how effective he can be when he is healthy. I mean, he's getting interceptions. He's getting sacks. He's getting fumble recoveries. Like, he's doing everything. He's got to be there. So I'm with you. Bet Bolt, thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Zachary Shelton.
Zach.
Who asked the question. So you guys might hate this question, but I kind of want to ask you. So out of our 3 AFC West opponents, are there any players that you enjoy watching when they are not playing us? I'm not saying about rooting for them because we all know we would not root for them. But are there any that you don't mind watching? For me, I enjoy and can recognize how talented both Mahomes and Kelsey are for Kansas City, and they are fun to watch. I feel those two would be cool guys if you met them in real life.
I'm petty. Fuck everybody. I have no interest in watching any, unless they're on my fantasy team. I think it's a year-to-year thing.
Right.
Because if they're on my fantasy team, I have a slightly vested interest. But I'm that kind of guy that if they're on my fantasy team and they're playing my team, they're on the bench. Even if like people look at like, what are you doing? I'm like, this is how I operate.
Right. Yeah, I can't. I can respect that these guys have talent, but I can't be like, I need to watch them because it's fun. Like this, I'm not necessarily a football fan. I'm a Charger fan. That's what I am a fan of. I'm a fan of the team. So you don't catch me watching games of other teams, let alone other AFC West teams, unless we're playing
getting ready to play them.
Exactly. So if anything, I get happy when they do poorly. In fact, I wish all of their teams were full of poor players that just sucked ass. So I can't say that I do, Zachary, and I don't think Kevin does either. But hey, you do you, my
There's
friend.
some talented guys. I used to watch like Brett Favre was fun to watch because he was just crazy and did crazy stuff. I like Jared Allen, the Vikings, that crazy guy. That edge rusher.
He was fun.
Like there were guys in the past. There's no one currently in the NFL that I'm like, God, I want to watch them play.
Yeah.
And I blame this podcast and being too hardcore of a Charger.
Yeah, really. The only time I ever watch a game that has like of another team is like you said, if it's on my fantasy football team. Like if I've got somebody, I'm like, well, let me see how they do.
or like old school, like Emmitt Smith or like those guys, like back in the day. Though, but that's easy because it's removed. They're not competing against your guys now,
right?
So I would say there's no current player that I'm like, I want to tune in to see how they're going to do.
Exactly.
So yeah.
All right, Zachary, thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Athir Kadir.
Athir,
go ask the question. Well, Doug, my dear love, so happy for the show, baby. I have a question. Everyone answers, all right? What's most likely to happen? Our defense and offense finishes top 5, or Herbert becomes 8th quarterback to win MVP and Super Bowl MVP in the same season. I'm taking Herbert, baby. Let's ride, baby. Both Super Bowl 57 champs, baby. All right.
Bringing that energy.
Yes.
I love that, Athir.
These are 2 great problems to have. So
I think most likely is top 5 on both.
Yeah.
Because getting an MVP and a Super Bowl MVP, like, it's just harder. I'd say that's harder.
Yeah, it's harder, but
what do I want?
But
that's a different question than what I think is most likely.
Sure. But if it were to happen to a Charger, it would have to be Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
You would be the MVP and the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of with Athir. What's most likely to happen?
The top 5.
I'm with Athir. You know what?
MVP and Super Bowl MVP.
I'm calling it.
I love it. I'll go that's what I want to happen. The most likely is we'll be top 5 on both.
Pushing my chips in. MVP and Super Bowl MVP. I'm with you, Athir. Great question. Thank you for asking it, bud. Let's move on now to XX Kavon.
All right.
Who asked the question?
Hey, it's me. Okay, to the question. What was the moment that surprised you the most as a Charger fan?
Most surprising moment?
It was the Khalil Mack getting Khalil Mack.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising.
Because that just came out of absolute nowhere. No one had that happening. No one saw that coming.
Mm-hmm.
That was not even a realistic thing, and it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And in a day that there was nothing going on, and this came out of nowhere.
Right.
That was the most shocked I've been in a long time as a Charger fan.
Mm-hmm.
Is there stuff of like getting to the Super Bowl? Of course, I remember that.
Right.
That kind of stuff. But I think in our current state, it was the Khalil Mack signing. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right, man.
I'm gonna say that for as long as I think we've been doing this podcast, we've had 2 games where it came down to basically going for 2, where if you kicked a field goal, you would have tied the game and go into overtime. But if you go for 2, you win it all.
And I think we've done both of them. Right?
That's what I'm saying. So we've had 2 times now that we've gone for 2, and both times, again, just in the time that we've been doing this podcast, so the past 3-4 years.
4 years, Staley and Lynn.
Yeah, that we've gone for it and gotten it. We've not had a situation in that time where we've gone for 2 and went, shoot, missed it.
Yeah.
So I think those were 2 times that I was like, my hair was blown back. It was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Not only did we go for it, we freaking got it.
Yeah.
So
that was fun.
Those were pretty surprising moments. But let us know what yours was, XX Kavon. I would love to hear that. And if anybody else, what is your most surprising moment as a Charger fan? I want to see it down in the comments. XX Kevon, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Mickey Coates.
Mickey!
Who asked the question. Since you started using the Mickey Mouse voice for my questions, we can't turn back now. Ho ho! Super excited for training camp to start in a little over a week. I'm really looking forward to see how Q shakes out this intense Chargers offense. Now for my question for all of you. Oh boy. What is your favorite movie of all time? Now recast the main cast with only Chargers players in the current roster. Thank you guys for being so hilarious. And I can't wait to get through a full season listening to you all. Oh boy.
Oh boy. You do it. That was really good. Mickey, you're the man.
All right. So favorite movie.
Wild.
And then recast it with
This is
player.
the hardest setup because it's so hard to say I have one favorite movie.
No, there's too many favorite movies to pick from. Jaws.
It's up there. I won't say it's favorite though.
All right, well, let's.
This is going to turn into another podcast.
Because at least with Jaws, it's a nice small little cast, so I can be like, all right, there's 3 guys.
Okay, I'm gonna go. It's not my favorite, but I've loved it. I love this movie so goddamn much.
Yeah,
so goddamn much.
Yeah,
is Back to the Future.
Okay,
so we're gonna go with for Marty McFly. We got to go Justin.
Sure,
because he's the man.
Of course,
the universe is
the man, the myth, the legend.
Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
I think Justin Herbert's dad is Max Duggan. Because I think Max Duggan is his dad's younger than him when he goes back in time.
Okay,
so that works. So Max Duggan's his dad. His mom. I picked a terrible movie for this. His mom, Staley. Let's go Staley for his mom. Doc Brown.
Kellen Moore.
Doc Brown.
Who's Biff?
That's definitely Joey Bosa. Why don't you make like a submarine and get the hell out of here? Like you're like a screen door in a submarine. Why don't you make like a tree and get the hell out of here? Make like a tree and leave, you idiot. Sorry.
Leave. All right.
Yeah, sorry.
I'll go with Jaws since it's all dudes. It makes it a lot easier.
I made it real hard on myself. Sorry,
Coach Staley. Trying to help you out.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. So we've got Brody. Chief Brody. I'm going to say Chief Brody is Kellen Moore.
Okay. New guy in town, doesn't like the water.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm going to say Quint is Staley.
Okay.
And I'm going to say Hooper is... No, Hooper is Kellen Moore.
Okay.
Chief Brody is Herbert.
That's pretty much everybody in the movie.
And
who's the shark?
Joe Lombardi. All right.
Who's the Kittner boy?
Wait, no, there's a good one here. Hang on. The Kittner boy. Kyle Van Noy.
Oh no.
Because we lost him.
Oh, he's out to sea.
They killed my boy.
They massacred my boy. Also a great movie.
Yes. All right. Well, there you go. Mickey Coates, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Daryl. Who asked the question? Oh, sorry guys. I dozed off. Oh, damn crickets. Hoo-ha. I feel like Tony Stark at the end of Iron Man 3. I've got nothing. Oh, snap. I got something. Oh, here we go. Oh, I'm going to have a job. This pic surfaced of our boys in a gray uni. Interesting. Not going to happen. But damn, check out the old school bolts over the shoulders. Is it just me, or would you guys shant your pants, too, if these made it back? Hoo-ha! Kill everybody.
The thing is, we have the best colors in all of football. So you can really, the combinations are limitless.
Yes.
Really? I would love this. This would be cool. I would also love all the other options everyone's been making swaps of. You know, I'm a fan. So yeah, this would be pretty badass. I do like the old school bolts that go the full length of the shoulder.
Right.
Pretty badass.
Yeah, this was one that was done by Charger Swap. If you guys aren't following them on Twitter,
definitely follow them.
Definitely follow them. They do a lot of great work, and they put a concept together of a gray uni.
Gold numbers.
And gold numbers definitely makes it pop, but there's got to be some blue in there somewhere.
Yeah,
give me navy, give me powder, give me something.
Powder blue sleeves and gloves and socks, maybe.
Yeah.
Like not having powder blue doesn't feel like our team.
Or navy blue, just some kind of blue needs to be on there.
We need some blue.
So, yeah, no, that ain't gonna happen. Ain't not gonna happen, pal. But hey, I love the concept. Yeah. I mean, I love that people are kind of playing around with it just because we're so deep in the off season right now. We're just like, what would happen if we had different color uniforms? So Daryl 21, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to OK Television 7015.
Certified fresh.
Who asked the question? If an expansion team group wanted to buy the Chargers branding from the Spanoses and bring the Chargers back to San Diego, new team, new owners, would you remain an LA blank fan or be a San Diego Chargers fan?
You made quite the question because there's a lot of variables in here that I don't necessarily like. But so they would basically get the name and just leave all the players in LA and take the name and the team back
to the Charger branding.
Just the branding back to San Diego and start a new team with new players.
Correct.
That's what
we've been asked this question before.
This is a trickier way to ask this question. This is
I hated it before and I hate it now.
This is the trickiest way to do it. The thing is, dude, it really comes down to players at a certain point, really.
Mm-hmm.
And like deciding you're not going to root for Justin Herbert or Derwin James anymore because they're wearing a different emblem. Like, I don't like this question.
No, and there's no way in the world it would ever happen. You know, it just wouldn't.
If they moved the team, it'd be the team moving back.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I do. I grew up in San Diego. I have ties to San Diego. I love San Diego.
Right.
But I don't need them to be the San Diego Chargers to love the Chargers. And I got a lot of shit for that when they first moved to LA. I'm like, okay, it's a cheaper flight for me to get to LAX. Like that's how I looked at it.
Right.
And that's because I've been gone I haven't lived in San Diego since I was 18, which is, I've been gone longer than I've been there. So, yeah, it's tricky for me.
Yeah. I mean, the allegiance is to the team. And if for some reason the branding went back to San Diego, I'd probably still be a fan of both, honestly, because they're
not both going to be in the same division.
Not going to be in the same division. Probably not both going to be in the AFC either.
Yeah, you could do both.
So if anything, it's like, all right, now I got an NFC team or something like that. Like,
there you go.
Yeah, and don't freaking come back and be like, now they're AFC West opponents, and you got a freaking big one. Just stop, all right?
Right now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm so invested in Justin Herbert and this team. I'm basically that's my team.
They could rebrand to the LA Herberts, and we'd be Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. Okay, Television 7015. Thank you.
Thank you, and welcome.
And welcome, yes, for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Devin Byerly.
Devin!
Who asked the question. Oh, yeah, I can't wait for training camp to come back. I need it back like yesterday. Okay, to the question. Who do you want to win the wide receiver 5 battle and why? I really love Guyton, but Pokey Wilson and Darius Davis are really putting up fights. Looking forward to your thoughts. They are greatly appreciated. And FTR, can't love you, bye.
This is tough because we just drafted Darius Davis. So I think he's going to be that no matter what. The question is going to be wide receiver 6. I think that's the question. Because Palmer isn't going anywhere. You have your top 3, Palmer, and then Darius Davis is not going anywhere.
You got your top 3. You got Palmer.
Then you got
Davis isn't going anywhere, but
he's on the team for special teams.
Correct.
And you're not going to carry just a special teams guy. He's going to be a wide receiver 5. He's just not going to happen.
If everybody stays healthy, you might.
I don't think it's going to happen. I hope they carry 6. I don't know if they will, but I want it to be Jalen Guyton because I don't know if you watched all those highlights recently, but he caught a lot of those badass passes.
I want it to be Jalen Guyton too. I mean, I like Darius Davis a lot, and Pokey Wilson has certainly made some great catches during training camp, but Jalen Guyton's been in the league for how long now? 3
Yeah, he's been with
4
Justin since his first year. So they've been together the whole time. So familiarity, he's delivered on the field when he's been healthy.
Exactly.
And that's what you want. If he's he's our wide receiver 6, rad. That's a great wide receiver.
Who, Darius?
6. No. Darius is 5. It's done.
Why can't Darius be 6?
Because there's no guarantee that 6 is going to be on the starting 53. Like he's going to be dressing for the game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's the case.
So you think Darius is over Jalen Guyton?
100% right now because he's our special teams. He's our returner. So I think you're talking about 6, not 5. That's just the way it is.
I respectfully disagree, but hey, I'm not on the Chargers organization. What do I know?
True.
I don't play
Same.
football. What do I know?
Same.
All right. Devin Byerly, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Ed Boyum, who asked the question.
Pick one NFC team to miss the playoffs for 20 years and one NFC team to start a dynasty, minimum 3 Super Bowls. Explain your reasoning and prepare for the pitchforks.
This is such an easy answer for me. It's stupid easy. The new dynasty would be the Packers, just because my wife's a Packer fan. Like that. I don't.
You just droop your head like my wife.
Yeah, there's a moment. I had a moment. She loves me. She loves my kids who are Charger fans, but she's a Packer fan. She grew up, her grandparents were Packer fans. Her parents are Packer fans. She's a Packer fan. So that's an easy one for there. In terms of who doesn't make it for forever, let's just say the 49ers, because they beat us in the Super Bowl in 94. I'll never forget. So,
boy, if you didn't think Kevin was petty before,
screw you, Niners.
There it is.
There you go, Packers.
That's funny. I can support the Packers being a dynasty team. I would also support like any NFC team that has never won a Super Bowl, because I know what that feels like. So I would be supportive of that NFC team doing that.
Yeah.
And as far as one to miss the playoffs for 20 years.
49ers.
I could say the 49ers. I wouldn't hate it if it was the 49ers.
Cowboys would be
I would
cool.
say the Cowboys, honestly.
Cowboys or 49ers. I say 49ers just because they beat us in the Super Bowl, but Cowboys would be rad too, because the amount of, that'd be pretty cool.
Just because then it would also kind of support that narrative that, Kellen Moore.
Oh, yeah.
He was
the
what
last
supported
thing
this
you
team.
ever did, last good thing you ever had.
And you let him go. All right. There you go. I don't think we got any pitchforks coming our way.
Fair enough.
Ed Boyum.
Good question. Straightforward.
Great question. Thank you for asking it. Let's move it on now to Rebolted 2006, who asked the question. With training camp vastly approaching, I thought we'd all bow our heads and say a quick prayer. Dear Rookie of the Year, Justin Herbert, or as our brothers in the South call you, Justin, we thank you so much for this bountiful harvest of an offense you provide to Mike, Will, Austin Eck, and the always delicious K.A. Slayer. I just want to take time to say thank you for providing endless content for our 3 beautiful, handsome hosts, the Duggins and Adam, or Wolldog as we call them. And of course, our red-hot smoking brisket broads, who are stone-cold lightning rods, who if you would rate their Topo Chico bottle blowing ability on 100, it would easily be a 94. Dear Rookie of the Year, Justin Herbert, we also thank you for delivering us from another year of Lombardi. We hope that you can use your Rookie of the Year powers to heal this offense. Last year smelled terrible, and the analyst buzzards are always bothering with it. Dear first start, 236-pound, 4-ounce inexperienced Justin. Don't even know the whole playbook yet. Oh, so quiet and mysterious, with your hair so wavy, but still dangerously powerful. We just thank you for all the rookie records you broke with passing touchdowns and completions. We love that end zone. Also, due to a binding endorsement contract that stipulates we mention Subway at each grace, I just want to say that Subway is delicious, and we can't wait to stick Justin's foot-long meatball sub into our mouths to quench the raging hunger we all feel inside for him and this team. We look forward to Subway's release of Mystic customizable and signature sandwiches, wrapped in salads to every Chargers fan on game day. Thank you all for your arm power and overall talent, dear Rookie of the Year, Justin Herbert. Amen. Question. I like to picture my Justin Herbert as Thor whenever he walks onto the field with flashes of lightning, followed by rumbling sounds of thunder, dissecting the looming atmosphere of the stadium, and I'm in the front row, shirtless and squeezing my golden powder blue nipples. Anywho, who do you guys like picturing your Justin Herbert as? Can't wait to give you some real questions in a few weeks, LOL. My only take is that we won't see a free agent brought in unless JT or Spiller underperforms, so we can cool it with the JJ3 or another running back being brought in rumor. You agree? Also, huzzah for Josh Jacobs probably staging a holdout after today. FTR, can't love you bye.
Dear
Amen.
6 pound, 8 ounce baby Jesus. That was a good one, dude. Well done. Well done. Golf clap. That's a golf clap. Golf clap.
All right. So, how do you picture Justin Herbert? Are you squeezing your powder blue nipples?
Yeah. Turkey's done, man.
Yeah.
I don't even have to touch him, man. Turkey's done.
So what do you picture?
Why do I picture him?
So he pictures him as Thor.
Yeah.
What do you picture him as?
Just fucking perfection. I don't know. What is perfection?
I think I know what you picture him as.
Tell me.
I think you picture him as Sway's dog from Point Blank. Or
Bodie?
Point Break, yeah.
Bodie?
Yeah. I think that's how you picture him.
Safa? Yeah. I mean, that's it.
Like surfer, cool under pressure. But he's gonna get. He's gonna
get me that money.
He's gonna go get.
Bring me that money.
He's gonna go
rob
get that ring.
bank. Go rob me that bank and bring me that ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deal. Thanks for swooping in and saving my.
That's what I'm here for.
Dumbass. What do you got?
I picture him not as like a specific person or character, but like he's like the big brother that you don't mess with the little brother kind of guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like takes quietly. He's the guy that quietly takes care of business. He's not loud. He's not making a scene or taking you out.
He waits till you're done picking on his brother. You
Right.
get off the bus and he kicks the shit out of you
Right.
behind the bus when no one can see.
Yeah, no, he'll find you in the parking lot afterwards
you up,
and
yeah.
get shit done.
Yeah, get shit done.
So
quietly.
For his team.
Crush you with some shopping carts left in the middle of a parking lot. It's a way to go out.
Yeah. That's how I picture him.
Hell yeah, I like that.
All right. Rebolted 2006.
Well done. Great script. Proud of you. Golf
Thank
clap.
you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Pink Unicorn.
Oh, shit.
Who asked the question? What's up, my beautiful Boltfam bitches? Last year, about this time, I asked you guys what it would take for Trey Pipkins to get a new contract. A year ago, none of us could see a future with Pipkins on the team. What a difference a year makes. He was without a doubt one of the most important signings this offseason. So now, same question, different player. What would it take for Kenneth Murray to earn a new contract? Can love you. Bye. P.S. Cam Hayward.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I this is an unpopular opinion. I am still not 100% sold on Trey Pipkins. I'm not.
Shocker.
I'm not. I want him to be successful this year more than anything in the world, but there were still things that he did last season that were like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
He had moments. I guess a lot of offensive linemen have moments like that. That's just
Of
what
course.
happens. I want him to be incredibly successful. So,
of course.
Yeah, I'll just leave that there. But Kenneth Murray, I'm a little concerned about Kenneth Murray because being the first round pick, not getting the franchise, the 5th year option. What is that? What kind of season does he have to overcome both of those?
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, that if we were talking about this prior to finding out that they weren't going to pick up his 5th year option, that would be a different kind of discussion. But because we all know now, we found out during the draft that they were not going to be picking up his 5th year option, which basically says we're not re-signing you. So what would he have to do? I mean, he'd have to be like the defensive MVP, like defensive player of the year.
But then the question is, can you afford him after you pay Justin?
No.
That's the thing, is I don't know if there's a lot of room for that. I really don't.
Yeah.
I want him to have an amazing year. I just don't know what he would have to do. It would have to be have an amazing year, prove to the coaches that he's awesome, and then not want a whole bunch of money on his next contract.
Yeah.
It's like one of those you can't have both kind of thing. But I'm not, I'm not an accountant. I don't know how that all works, but seems like it's the chips are stacked against him a little bit.
They really are. Yeah, that's a great point, because even if he doesn't do well this year, I mean, the Chargers aren't going to want to re-sign him if he doesn't do well this year.
Yeah.
Even if he did great this year, I mean, you could make the argument like, okay, well, it took you 3, almost 4 years to make this finally happen. So we'll sign you a new contract, but it's going to be a little itty bitty baby one. Like, no.
I just don't. That was like the last of like the defensive players drafted before Staley got there. Since then, he's drafted all the defensive players he wants. That was the last of the Lynn drafts when it came to defensive guys.
Right.
And does he fit what he wants to do? I think Deion Henley is closer to what he wants and
probably
took a shot at him in the third round. I think that's basically that pick in the third round is setting him up to replace K9. I want K9 to go out of his freaking mind and make a buttload of money next year. I just don't know if the Chargers are going to be able to pay him.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, would love to see him ball out this year. And,
fourth year's a charm.
Just don't go to the AFC West, wherever you go. Just freaking.
Well, win us the Super Bowl and then we can worry about that later.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm tired of it. I'm sick of seeing players going.
Tillery belongs as a Raider.
Yes. I can agree with that.
Happy he's there.
All right. Well, there you go. Pink Unicorn. Thank you for asking the question. And we go out of Ask Bolt Fam with Big Dicker Energy.
Oh.
Who asked the question? Dear Charger Chat, I have 3 gifts. 1 is Justin Herbert's hairbrush. 2 is Phillip Rivers' bolo tie. And 3 is Deion Henley's leather suit he wore on draft day. Out of the 3 of you, who would take which gift? K loves you, bye.
Yeah. That K love you, bye was so endearing.
K loves you, bye.
So endearing.
All right. Well, 3 wonderful gifts.
3.
And Kyle's not here to pick, so
he gets what's left over.
He gets what's left over. So the hairbrush,
Rochambeau for first pick. Ready?
Well, do you want one over the other?
Yes. Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
You got it.
I will take Phillip Rivers' bolo tie.
I would have wanted that.
Brush would be cool. That's like teeters on like, wow, Kevin, you've really gone to fucking creepy land.
But it's a gift. I didn't steal it.
But it's a used hairbrush. Like, I know that I now have his DNA and I can replicate my own Justin Herbert. I get that. Cool idea. But it's also extra creepy, and I want to meet him one day, and I would feel weird if I owned his hairbrush.
I'm hoping it's signed.
Signed hairbrush?
Just so that I can be like, I didn't steal this. And they're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'm like, no, look, he signed it. Be like, yeah, no, all right.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I held him at gunpoint in his bathroom and made him sign this over to me.
No, I pulled it out of his trash when he wasn't looking.
No, I'm going bolo tie because I can wear that
bolo tie
every day.
I think that's the top tier gift.
Yeah, I got a bolo tie. And like this leather, the snakeskin boots from that Monday Night Football game.
Oh, yeah.
That'd have been rad.
I will gladly take the hairbrush because I don't know what I would do with Deion Henley's leather suit. I think
Kyle's gonna look great.
I was gonna say it might at least fit Kyle. So
God, could you imagine Kyle in an all leather?
I can't, but I want to.
I do. I want to see that. We got to make that happen. Patreon.
All right. Well, there you go. Big Dicker Energy. Thank you for asking the question. And thank you everybody for asking questions in Ask Bolt Fam. You make these episodes what they are, and we really appreciate it. Again, we're back to our regularly scheduled program. If Kyle can get on the freaking ball and maybe show up for one of these.
I think we'll get him back hardcore next week on.
Good. We better. I'm getting my pitch.
Or I'm going to call my dad and my mom and tell on him.
Yeah, you should tell on him.
Dad, Kyle's not showing up to the podcast.
All right.
Love you, Kyle.
Love you, Kyle. I think that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
He loves you. Bye.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Are you trying to stop using inappropriate and explicit language? Tired of other programs that promise to give you creative fillers but don't stick like the bad ones do? Well, don't worry. With Phillip Rivers' Dagumit's online course, there's a golly and a dang it for that. Enroll now, and you can learn new ways of letting out your feelings in a way that's suitable for all ages. Go from this, son of a bitch, that dude aggravates the living shit out of me, to this, golly dadgummit, that dude aggravates the stew out of me. This course really works, but don't take our word for it.
I used to swear every day at work and talk very explicitly to my coworkers and was on the verge of being fired. Thanks to Philip Rivers' Dagumit's online course, I was able to turn my language around and still say what was on my mind without the fear of termination. And it even works at home in front of my kids and wife. My kids even say crap, dang it, and golly all the time. Thanks, Phil.
Be sure to act now, and you'll also get a free week subscription to Philip Rivers' PG Trash Talking Sessions, where you'll learn how to build upon those words and speak minutes worth of talking material suitable for any group of people you interact with. Philip Rivers' Dagumit's online course is not responsible for any bodily injury that may occur and does not guarantee to save your marriage or job with cleaner language. Philip Rivers' Dagumit's online course. There's a golly and a dang it for that.